welcome and thank you for joining me for another Art of Womanhood series interview. My name is Angela M. Mitchell, and I'm the visionary author of this project. And we have been putting together interviews. I've been speaking to women from all ages, all places, all walks of life about the art that is womanhood. We are fierce, we are feminine, and we are fearless. And we are on volume one of this anthology project. So these interviews right now are focused on the 10 amazing authors that have taken the time to share themselves with us and with the world in this first volume of the series. And so today I have with me one of my beautiful, amazing co authors. Her name is C. Marie. And I'm going to bring her up here and we're going to kick it about her contribution to this project. So, without further ado, y'all know I love to say that. Without further ado, I'm going to bring her up. Hey,
Hi.
girl.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am good. Thanks for having me.
Of course. No, thank you for joining me. Thank you for your yes. And just thank you for taking the time to share such an amazing part of yourself, an amazing part of your story and your journey with everybody. So,
Thank
the art of womanhood,
you. Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
We are fierce, we are feminine, and we are fearless. I want you just to take a second to introduce yourself, right? And then tell us why you joined this project.
Hi, my name is C. Marie. I am 30 years or plus so into my career, looking forward to retirement.
Mhm.
The main reason why I wanted to join this series was because of the struggles I went through just trying to find who I was. Having given up myself, to make sure my family was taken care of because I'm a product of the 60s. And
Yeah.
that's what we were taught. Your family comes first, your children's come first. And to think of putting myself first, it was like, no, I can't do that. That would be selfish. And in
Mm.
doing that, I completely lost myself and
Yeah.
had to kind of start over
Yeah.
and realize that putting yourself first means you can take care of those that are dependent on you.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us about the title of your chapter in this anthology.
Okay. Oh man, I don't remember what my title is right now. You just kind of threw me off.
I can tell you what it is. I can
Thank
tell you.
you. Wow.
She said, "Wait a minute. Yeah, I like to throw a monkey wrench in the game every now and again." The title is "It Gets Better with Time."
Um,
Um,
the, Go ahead.
Yeah, no, no, no. That's yeah. It gets better with time. I know. Oh my goodness, I read your story, and I just was so touched and so amazed by the things that you shared, especially the relationship with your children. I think is awesome. So just tell us. I do. I really and truly do. And I think it's so important. So tell us a little bit about what you shared in your chapter.
I shared an experience that all women go through at some point in time in their life, which is
Mm.
starting that monthly cycle.
Yeah.
That cycle that you hate to see coming, but when you get older, you're glad that it came.
Yes. Yes.
And just the journey I went through and not fully understanding what it
Yeah.
was, what was
Yeah.
happening to my body. Because again, product of the 60s, those were things that they didn't talk about. It was here, put this on, keep it moving. And
Yeah.
not really truly understanding what was happening and the fear that I felt and not having anyone to turn to. I was 12 years old, and I just remember at that point in time, I said, if I ever have girls, they will not
Mhm.
go through this. And I
Yeah.
just making true on that promise, and then everything that transpired after that
Yeah.
with my children having children and how they're raising them. So,
Absolutely. I don't think that as we grow up, of course, it's the thing that happens to us as women.
mhm.
That's the thing, the big thing. And I think it's kind of pushed under the rug and almost spoken about as if it's something to be ashamed of. I know I
Exactly.
remember, feeling like that, like, oh my goodness. And then even during that time of month, you know what I'm saying, feeling
Mhm.
self-conscious and almost shameful,
Oh,
right?
yes.
And
Yes,
so,
yes.
yeah, you almost felt shameful. You know what I mean? Do you think especially like you say, being a child of the 60s, I'm a child of the 70s myself, but do you think though um that those practices did more harm than good to us as women and as young girls?
I think it did, because what it taught me was to be ashamed of my body.
Yeah.
It taught me to be ashamed of how I was developing, um,
Mhm.
to be ashamed of literally becoming a woman. And
Yes.
so all of that shame shaped how I chose men. It shaped how I felt about myself. It shaped how I allowed other people to treat me. I was
Yeah.
ashamed. I didn't feel worthy. So why should anybody treat me like I am the queen that I am? Knowing that
Yes.
now, but not knowing it back then.
Yeah. And I think I think that may be the story of a lot of young girls who grew into, women, of
Hmm.
course. Just to feel ashamed of your body, is crazy. But it happened. It
Yeah.
really did happen, and it happened a lot more than I think people understand that it happened. And I also think it was like the societal expectations of that time.
Hmm.
So how have like societal expectations, how have they affected your womanhood journey and your journey as a woman? Just the things that society expects of us as women.
It had me to the point where, when I was married, that I fully believed that women were supposed to do everything.
Mhm.
I had this dream in my head that, I would be married and, my husband would, go to work and he would come home and he would just sit
Yeah.
on the couch and he didn't have to do anything. I was going to take care of the kids, do all
Yeah.
the cooking, do all the cleaning, plus work a full-time job so I can help him with the
Mhm.
bills. And doing that, I just literally ran myself into the ground. And then I wanted to put on a positive front, so to speak, because my girls were watching me. My son
Yes.
was watching me. So I wanted to be this perfect mom, this perfect wife, this perfect woman for everybody. I wanted everybody around me to be happy. I wanted to make sure everybody around me had what they need, neglecting what I need and my happiness.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh man. And that, excuse me, right there is one thing that excuse me, that I find that we as women do every
Mhm.
single day.
Yes.
You know, we put ourselves on the back burner. We
Mhm.
ignore our dreams. Ignore what makes us happy because
Mhm.
we want to make sure that everybody else, right,
Yep.
around us
Yep.
is happy. So, what are some key lessons you've learned about that? Some lessons that you've learned, especially over these years, in putting everybody else first,
Mhm.
and now you're getting to a point in your life where you see, that just ain't it. So, what are some lessons like that you've learned out of that?
I learned that you do have to put yourself first, and it's not being selfish. You have to take care of you so you can have that energy to put out and help others. And taking care of yourself and believing in who you are, you then don't allow anybody to just say anything to you, treat you any old kind of way. You
Mhm.
respect yourself more. You really step into your authenticity.
Yeah.
And stepping into your authenticity is all the gloves come off. I'm like, yeah, no,
Yep. Yep.
yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna stop you right there. You stay here. I'm gonna go on
That's
over
right.
here, and I'm gonna
That's
mind
right.
my business. That the peace of mind, I think, is one of the biggest things because I used to hear people say there you can't put a price on peace of mind. Never understood what that was until I actually got it.
I know it.
Now, baby, let me tell you, you're not.
That's
You,
it.
you are not. You can't. I will
That's
not allow you to come into my space and mess with my peace of mind, to mess with me being in my authentic stuff, to stand in that authenticity uh,
mm,
within myself and around people that genuinely love who I am and accept me for who I am.
yeah. Yeah, because you deserve that peace. Like you
Yes.
say, you deserve that peace. And I just don't think that we I don't know, I don't think that we give ourselves the grace that we give every damn body else. I
We
can
don't.
say that. I
Yeah.
think we are so hard on ourselves, man. I
Hmm.
think we're so hard on ourselves. And we don't prioritize ourselves. Your self-care and your mental being, you only get one mind. And I think to me that your mind is like your biggest asset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When that goes by the wayside, when you don't have any peace, and you just won't have peace anywhere,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Because when I was probably at my lowest, it was to the point, get up, do what I needed to do.
Yeah,
No feeling, no thought,
yeah,
no emotion. It was just a shell.
yeah,
Waking up every morning mad because I'm like, God, why are you waking me up? I don't want to
yeah,
be here. It's like I'm not the type of person that would, okay, I'm just gonna swallow these pills or do something like
hmm,
that. I
hmm,
just wanted to go to sleep
yeah,
and not wake up
mhm,
mad when I did, because I did not understand why I was still waking up every morning. Not until literally stepped into myself,
mhm.
accepted everything that I did, accepted every decision I made, even though I may not have had the proper tools to make the decisions I was making, they were still mine to make.
That's
Accept
right.
them for making them, make
That's
changes, where I could, and keep it moving.
that's it. That's
And
it.
knowing that years later, writing books and trying to
Yeah,
help another woman step into
yeah.
her authenticity, another woman step into who she really is and who is she and who she's supposed to be. So
That's it.
I get it now. Didn't
Yeah.
understand it
But
back
you know
then. I get it
what?
now.
And I think that's why you said it gets better with time, because
Mhm.
it does.
It
You know what I
does.
mean? It does. How do you now prioritize self-care in your mental well-being?
Uh, it's me first. I really do put myself first and not feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
I don't have maybe as many friends or people that I associate with as much as I did, years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago,
Mhm.
20 years ago.
Mhm. Mhm.
I take care of myself by protecting who I allow into my space,
Yeah. Yeah.
whose energy I allow into my space. Because all energy, and especially the negative energy, is just like I can't do it
That's
anymore.
true.
Maybe once upon a time I would have done it, just
Yeah.
because I didn't want to hurt your feelings, or I didn't want you to feel less than, or I just, if I had a bunch of friends around me, then that would somehow validate my self-worth. But
Right.
I don't do that anymore. I will sit in my house, in peace.
I know that's right. I know that's right, girl.
Sit in my house in
So
peace.
yeah. And why not? So how important are female relationships to you at this stage in the life?
They are important if they're genuine.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's coming from a genuine place, where we're not trying to compete against each other, and I'm not looking at you as like, oh man, she got this, that, or the other. You're not looking at me like, well, she
Mhm.
got this, that, or the other, or why did she get this, and how come I don't have it? Well, she
Right.
did this, and she don't deserve this. If we're both coming from a genuine place, and we're there to root each other on, or if I see you doing a project, I'd be like, you know what, hey Angie, I was thinking about this. Why don't you add this,
Yeah.
or why don't you consider this? Something that's going to help you elevate whatever you're doing and make it better, or vice versa, lift each other up.
That's it.
So that's what's important to me. So to have female friends and family in my life where we're lifting each other up and not tearing each other down,
Mhm.
extremely important.
Mhm. I always, wonder why we are taught as women not to put ourselves first. You know what I mean? Why do I never understood why you think that is. And then I look back at our aunties and our grandmas and
Hmm.
different stuff, and you always know sometimes, Aunt Jail is just mean, she this, she that. And then you think about it, when I, as a woman now at this age, well,
Right.
maybe she was mean because she was sick of y'all shit. Maybe that. And she
That part.
you see? You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And she didn't know how to express that because it was so
Hmm.
frowned upon, man. It was so frowned upon for women to open their mouth and to say, look, no, I don't like this. I don't
Hmm.
want this.
Right.
I don't want to have your 17 kids. I
Yep.
don't want to do this. You know what I mean? I don't want to cook and clean for you all doggone day every day. I want to write a book, or I want to be a teacher, or or whatever it is I want to do.
Hmm.
And so I think I don't know. I just think your title, and like you said, all of the things that you're sharing really are saying, protect your peace, it does get better with time,
It
you know.
does. It does.
Yeah,
Once you step into the authenticities, like I said, once you accept whatever part you played,
yeah,
and in
yeah.
every, because I always tell my girls, the common denominator in every relationship you've ever been in is you.
Yes,
So at
ma'am.
some point in time, you got to kind of take stock. Like, wait a minute, so and so treated me this way, but I also allowed them to treat me this way.
That's it.
Um, so I need to step back, take stock, and say, hey, yeah,
Yeah.
I did this, I did that. Let me fix that. Learn from that mistake. Don't keep repeating it. Don't go around and saying nobody understands me, and then you go around and you do the same thing again. So you can have
Yeah,
this song, this dance, this function that you're used to, and you want to
yeah,
stay in that. So you'll cry, you say
yeah.
you'll do better, but then you go right back into the same thing. And yeah, you have to stop doing that. Put your big
Mhm.
girl pants on and learn
And
from it and move forward
that's it.
and teach
That's
those
it.
coming up behind you.
That's it. Lift as you climb. That's definitely one of
Yes, I
my
like that.
biggest mottos. Yes, lift as you climb. So I just have one more question. What has motherhood taught you?
Motherhood has taught me that, I'm not perfect. It has taught me that my children are not perfect. It has taught me patience. It has taught me understanding that they're going to go through things, even though I might say, hey, you don't want to do that.
Hmm.
But I also have to let them go. I have to allow them to make those mistakes so they can learn from that. And at the same time, give them the space to be able to come and sit and talk to me about whatever it is going on, and not react in a negative way that they don't come back and say anything ever
Right.
to me again. To give whoever, my children, that space to grow, to learn, to make mistakes, and to be their best selves.
And that's it. That's it. Well, listen, Miss C. Marie, I am so honored that you decided to join this project. I appreciate you. I thank you for taking this ride with me. I thank you for sharing yourself, with the
Thank you.
world and leaving a platform for other women, a pathway for other women to see that there's always hope. There's
Yes.
always hope at the end of whatever it is you're going through.
Yes. I hope that in these 10 chapters, that they find a nugget from one of us that
Yeah.
they can resonate with and stand on that. If you can't stand on your own, stand on our words. Whose ever story resonates with you, stand on that until you can stand on your own for yourself and write your new chapter.
Yes, ma'am. That's it. That's it. That's it. Well, y'all heard it here, man. Y'all heard it here. Again, this has been another interview in the Art of Womanhood, Fierce, Feminine, and Fearless interview series. And I thank you all for taking a second out of your day to join us. See, Marie, I thank you for joining us. And until next
Thank
time,
you for having me.
you're welcome. Bye